For millions of people watching football today, that moment had one of three names attached to it. And in the summer of 2026, those three names are back one last time. Cast your mind back to 2014, Brazil, the home of football, the land where the game was born. And for the first time in history, three players who would come to define an entire generation of football fans were all on the same World Cup stage. And then there was the Argentine. In 2014, he was operating on a completely different level from everyone else on the planet. 3 group stage goals in every match, including one in the final minutes against a team that had frustrated him all game, a curling, precise strike into the top corner that left the world breathless. Now, for the Portuguese superstar, 2014 was a tournament to forget. Knocked out in the group stage, a single goal to his name, one of the darkest chapters in his international career. But as history would show, the story was far from over. Let's start with the young Brazilian. His World Cup began like a dream, 4 goals in 3 group stage games, a player who moved like nobody else on the planet, fluid, unpredictable, technically brilliant in a way that hadn't been seen in years. By the time the group stage was over, he was the runaway favorite for the tournament's best player and top scorer. His country was built around him. If he stayed fit, nobody could stop Brazil. And then the quarterfinals. A brutal challenge, a back injury so severe that people feared it might end his career entirely. Brazil marched into the semifinals, and without their heartbeat, fell apart in a way the world will never forget. 7-1, a result that still haunts an entire... The Portuguese, though, he opened the tournament with one of the most memorable individual performances in World Cup history. 3 goals in a single game against one of the strongest sides in the tournament. A free kick scored again in the next game, but Uruguay ended Portugal's tournament in the last 16, and with it, another World Cup campaign ended earlier than it should have. The Brazilian was solid in the group stage and dazzling in patches, but when Belgium came calling, led by one of the finest midfielders in a generation and a winger who was untouchable that night, Brazil ran out of answers. The Argentine struggled, a missed penalty in the opening game, a 3-0 hammering by Croatia that left the world stunned, then a moment of pure individual magic against Nigeria that reminded everyone exactly who he was. But France, specifically that teenage forward, had other ideas. The Argentine was out in the round of 16. Qatar. Winter. And what most of us expected to be the final chapter. And for the Portuguese, perhaps the most debated World Cup of his career. A goal in the group stage. Then, in the knockout rounds, a decision was made to use him from the bench. His team won 6-1 without him starting. He came on, he scored, or so he believed. The debate continues. And then Morocco, a historic run by an African nation that captured the world's imagination, knocked Portugal out. The Portuguese walked off the pitch in tears. Most of us assumed we'd seen his last World Cup goal. We were wrong. For the Brazilian, 2022 was a familiar story of what might have been. Injured early, came back, scored, produced a goal that reminded everyone of who he is when fully fit. Then Croatia again. Extra time, penalties. Out in the quarterfinals, just like 2014, just like 2018. The Argentine delivered what many are already calling the greatest individual World Cup performance in the modern era. An opening game defeat to Saudi Arabia, a result so shocking it stopped the world. And then a response that was simply relentless. Goal, assist, match-winning moment after match-winning moment. A goal against Mexico, dominance against Poland, clinical against Australia, brilliant against the Netherlands in a quarterfinal that had everything: drama, tension, controversy, and moments of genius. A masterclass in the semifinal. And then the final. 2 goals, a penalty shootout, and a trophy that an entire generation had been waiting to see him lift since they first fell in love with the game. It was the crowning moment of a sporting career unlike any other. 2026, the last dance. All three of them, still here, still competing, still playing on the biggest stage in football. The Portuguese, at an age when most players have long retired, is still scoring goals at a staggering rate. 26 goals in 29 matches this season. He is not fading. The Argentine, if anything, seems to have found a second wind. 12 goals and 5 assists in 13 starts. The major international tournament seems to unlock something in him that no regular season can replicate. He thrives here. He always has. And 12 years later, still here. This World Cup is the last chance to watch them live. If this video hit different, drop a comment and like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon for more videos.